Doing out there? Yeah, yeah, yeah! We got about 25 more comics here for you. Just sit back and relax. Coming up next to the stage, we have a beautiful and funny woman. You have probably seen her gracing stages of improv performances around town. Ladies and gentlemen, Eve Privman!
Thank you, Johnny Mac. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this. Virgin Air has this weird new feature on some of their planes called seat-to-seat texting. Just in case you're not seated right next to your party. And that way people aren't walking all up and down the aisle and having loud conversations. And it's way more considerate to the other flyers. Because that way, the terrorists can coordinate exactly when to all jump up and start taking hostages without waking up that baby next to you. The pre-flight spiel would be way more interesting if it was just a text message. Welcome to Air Tween. Please fasten your seatbelts, put your tray tables in the upright position. In case of emergencies, please use your seats as a flotation device. Okay, thanks, bye. I'd have to stop there after the 140 character limit. Tragic plane crash into the Hudson today. The only survivors were those passengers under the age of 20. Did I mention I'm a medical student? I go to UVA. So what's weird about medical school is that someone somewhere in the past felt the need to take every disgusting thing ever and put it in the jar in my anatomy lab. You can't just go in there in the middle of the night and saw open someone's skull in peace. You've got to walk through this hallway of like 200 jars. And they aren't just regular jars. No, they're antique Hellmann's mayonnaise jars. And they contain almost exclusively deformed fetuses. It's charming. It was clearly some weirdo's pet project that he donated to the school when he passed away. And I know what you're thinking. It's really disgusting how much mayonnaise that guy ate. And there isn't any use for those jars. They never get taken out or played with or studied. They just sit there being deformed, an immortal reminder to always use a condom. But obviously you can't throw them away. I mean, come on. Fetuses and mayonnaise jars are just like cell phones and batteries and tax documents. You can't just chuck them in the heap, you know? You've got to recycle them. I mean, everyone knows it's bad luck to throw away a fetus. If you break one, it's 7 years of impotence. But anatomy lab, it can be very tricky. So let me share some of the tips that I learned along the way. When you're dissecting your cadaver, good luck finding the cockles of the heart or the apple of the eye. They are tricky. Blood is thicker than water, so you can use the water to clean up a little bit. Always double check which side you're working on that day, because it's really easy to get off on the wrong foot with your cadaver. When the group next to you says, "Lend me your ears," don't do it, because they're not going to give it back till after the exam. And then you're going to have no time to study. And, God, I just miss anatomy so much. You know, I think my favorite dissection, my favorite dissection was the whole 9 yards of intestines. In medical school, people will get hungry in class, and they're going to whip out a snack. And it's really annoying. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. When somebody tries to open something that's in a plastic wrapper quietly, they think they're being so sneaky. Just rip it open. You're just drawing it out. But sometimes when I'm in the anatomy lab really late at night and I'm working, I'll turn on the radio, and I'm struck by how some people sing certain words. And I really wish that everyone talked like that. Wouldn't it be great if everyone talked the way that Alicia Keys sings that song, Fallin'? You know the one. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. Yeah, that's the one. Asking people how their weekend went would be so much more interesting that way. So, how was your weekend? Well, the other day I was taking this figure skating lesson and I kept on falling. So I was kind of sore and bummed out, so I went home only to find out that my stocks are falling. So at this point, my day is ruined. And I called up my husband at work, and he was totally silent on the other end. And I said to him, "Are you even listening to me? It sounds like you are falling asleep at work again." This guy is such a jerk to me. Then I knew that it was time to start filing for divorce. So I went to the store and I started filling out the paperwork, and I called up my lawyer and I realized, oh my god, there are way too many papers here. I can't handle it. I need a filing cabinet. So I went to Staples, and the person in line, of course, forgets something. So she sends her, high school age son running through the aisles trying to find it, and she's sitting there chatting away with the cashier and stalling. So I picked up a book to buy the time, and hey, look, it's that new one by J.K. Rowling. So finally, I got fed up and I left, and I went out into the parking lot, and I was startled. There was a dog in the car, and it was growling. It must have been pissed off, because no one cracked a window for it. So I started calling animal control, and it just made me so mad. Because if I had the money, I could help poor abused animals like that dog. I wanna be a billionaire, so effing bad. Thank you.